to this frequency, and we want to set the pace this morning, as we do always, just to keep you abreast, to keep you updated on what's going on, to peruse and go through the pages of our dailies this morning to see what's trending, to see what's going on, and give you updates while you are going on your daily activities, while you're preparing for work, you work from home, or you are already on your way to work, you're already at work. Just do well to tune your radio station and leave it right there at M쏘ɪɪľ FM, and let's see, just to keep you abreast of happenings this beautiful morning. We'll be joined by Mᴏɪᴜ Fᴏᴜ as always to give us perspective, holistically look at the stories and the updates we have in our newspaper, whatever it is. We're already to let you know what's happening in our dailies this morning. You can join us live on Facebook and YouTube. Location is not a barrier, and you want to enjoy an audiovisual experience, you can as much as possible join us on social media. On Facebook and YouTube, we're streaming live. You can join us live there at Mᴏᴜ 98.3 FM, and also you can listen via Radio Garden, and our website as well, www.mlanfm.com. My name is Mᴏɪᴜ So you're welcome to Trends in the Papers once again on Mᴏᴜ 98.3 FM. Mᴏɪᴜ Fᴏᴜ, good morning.
Good morning, Lady Mo. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Happy Children's Day to you, Fᴜᴜ.
Yes, happy Children's Day to you. We're all children.
Yeah, right. I was thinking you say, yeah.
Yeah. No, we're all children.
Yes,
to my mom, I'm still a child.
Right.
So it's wonderful to celebrate our children. And I'm sure something's happening on Saturday at Mainland FM, to celebrate our wonderful kids.
Right.
The children don't go to school. You feel it on the street. It's always near empty. That's to tell you their impact.
Right.
Happy Children's Day to all. Growing wisdom. Look at the world. That's what we tell our kids.
Amen. Amen to that very big prayer right there. All right, of course, like you mentioned, it's Children's Day, and we'll start on that note. We definitely see the impacts of every corner you want to think of in the country. All right, on that note, let's start from Children's Day, and of course, you know that the dailies will also pay attention to the celebration today, so we start on that. But the Guardian newspaper is capturing this is coming from the angle of tackling bullying, prioritizing rights and welfare of stakeholders. Okay, the government is urging stakeholders on tackling bullying, prioritizing rights and welfare of stakeholders. As a Nigerian child paying for bureaucracy and ineptitude, that's part of the riders that the Guardian is bringing on board. UBEC boss laments unutilized intervention funds, demand stronger action against bullying in schools. Also, a foundation and others have called on the federal government to prioritize the rights and welfare of children in the country. And he also emphasized the need to create a safe environment devoid of violence and bullying for children to evolve into resourceful. Nigeria has a young population, about 42% of the 223 million, over 200 million of the statistics. But worried, according to UBEC, over the continued inability of states to access funding from to provide matching funds, costing billions of naira to remain unclaimed and contributing to infrastructure shortages in schools, despite government's plan to facilitate the release of 5-year. Well, let's leave that, but just several angles to celebrating Children's Day and matters that are related to Children's Day, talking about bullying, talking about prioritizing the welfare of the children. Also, even the Punch capture, and experts are saying, is it a ticking time bomb that the federal government need to do something about out of school children, the welfare. And basically, we also talked about when we have conversation about drug abuse. Even Guardian reported that children under the Fᴜᴜ talked to us about how we can better, in these different sectors of children in the country.
Well, a lot to talk about, really. We're going to be looking at the rights of our children, the welfare of our children, and of course, both papers have done a good job in trying to look at the challenges that confront us. And when we say tackle now, it's not about sharing rights, so all those sharing of rights, sharing of 5,000 or 10,000. It's just a waste of time. the government needs to quickly tackle multidimensional poverty.
Mm.
The prevalence of multidimensional poverty in the country cannot in any way guarantee good welfare and guarantee the rights of children. So you discover that when it comes to quality and affordable health care, there's no way you can have this level of multidimensional poverty and guarantee that to the Nigerian child. There's no way we'll have this level of multidimensional for the Nigerian child. So look, we can spend the whole day talking about how badly for the Nigerian child to thrive. So it goes back to the government creating the enabling environment, working on its policies to ensure that, look, poverty is reduced to the barest minimum. There's no society that can completely eradicate poverty, but it can be reduced to the barest minimum.
You talked about education, and when we talk about education, quality one, especially developed countries. I was listening to a conversation and about education, especially children. A parent was narrating what they started with Maya and all of that, but he was surprised and marveled, flabbergasted when he took the child out there and to play with. And he was like, I don't understand. For my child has been reading State and Capital in Nigeria, and they are giving him toys. Ones that will play with the toys, dismantle and rebuild. The one that will build toys with whatever character, whatever the one that would get to see the several specialties in those children, what they can do. And even with videos that we see so far, in some countries, the kind of curriculum, the kind of education exposure aspect of education where they get to identify their talent, even right. Do you think we should tweak our curriculum, all of that, to better our education?
Lady Mo, before we talk about curriculum, when last did you visit a government primary school? Anyone at all? Or maybe just pass by and look
pass by. Yes, I do pass by. Visiting.
Which one? When last did you see any? So do you think we should first start by talking about curriculum of you that as we speak, we still have government-owned schools where there are not enough teachers? Can we even talk about the infrastructure that is available to poor Nigerian children to have access to? You are talking about schools in abroad where they give children toys, try to develop their cognitive ability, not necessarily about reciting or reading things that does not really add anything to their thinking process. If I tell you the school fees of some of the children of the rich here at primary level, when the child cannot even pay anything,
millions of naira,
how much they are paying?
Millions.
But what we are saying is that, look, the resources of the nation should also guarantee free and qualitative education to our children, at least at primary and secondary school level. Maybe at the university, guarantee free and qualitative education to the visit a government-owned primary school, and you understand what I'm saying. Teachers you have there. I was at a community recently somewhere in Ogun State. It was only one teacher. I don't know what she probably will be thinking about when she saw us. It was just there in that part of Ogun State, and he was just there. That was what I was telling one of our friends, although this first guy would not like what I'm saying. I said, people will think, oh, what is he saying? The amount of job that Ogun State needs to do in terms of fixing infrastructure and getting the state. It's a complete distraction, waste of time. If you look at the amount of work that is needed for those now, all kinds of events, there will be a lot of checks that will be paid, and there are people that will benefit from it.
All right. Thank you very much, Fuad. That very story. Also, you definitely get across board because today's children respect for the welfare of children in Nigeria, especially out of school children. How we tackle that? We have an alarming amount. Back to the Punch newspaper. Let's go political. The political scene. Yesterday, we had an unconcluded National Caucus meeting, still reconvened as NEC meeting stalls. The National Caucus meeting of the PDP yesterday concluded without a resolution, with the Governors Forum, the BOT's leadership, Board of Trustees leadership, and the Peace Committee one they had with no resolution to decide the way forward for the stalled National Executive Committee meeting. And the PDP acting national chairman yesterday, Umar Damagum, told journalists after after nearly 3 hours of the caucus meeting in Abuja that the discussions with Atiku Abubakar and Amadi Sambo, as well as former Senate President David Mark and former Speaker House of Rep Aminu Tambuwa, were definitely absent from the meeting, which was intended to lay the groundwork for the 99th National Executive Committee meeting, the Reconciliation Committee. Even I know this has been a conversation, and of course the chairman is saying that. Fuad.
Politicians are never tired of holding it. I don't know of other places, but Nigerian politicians meeting. Every time there's a meeting discussing nothing, no really. They know what the problem is, because they are not really busy. Just imagine a lot of these governors who leave their state and look at the time they spend in a number of meetings to achieve what?
Unity. Internal unity.
Sorry?
I say
so they don't know what the problem. So it is the meeting that will tell them what they should continue the meeting. And they should just continue Baptist State Government House. But I think luckily is owing ground rent to the FCTA, the Abuja.
What I need to react to that first before we talk about the
I wanted to put everything together.
Yes,
if the PDP
they said what you said now, and when he was asked, Bode George, when he was asked during an interview yesterday, and he gave an analogy. The analogy he gave was the fact that you go to your village and you see your father's house. You decided to lock it up, and he was relating that with Wike, the fact that you are in the PDP and they are allowing all this to happen.
And there's a problem of ground rent payment in Abuja. You are in charge.
And you are in charge. And
you are the one that wants to lock the place up. No. You're not part of the PDP. You don't know what to say. Hello, Lady Mo.
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm just saying, it's just trying to see. Because I see that their meeting is just a waste of time. All these their meetings, they keep on calling for these meetings. I think maybe they just get themselves busy with those meetings. I'm thinking visionary people, they have meeting all through the day. The meeting continues the next day, and then the meeting. After the committee again, nothing is done. They have another for this. Nothing.
What
let the PDP, if they like, they should demolish the secretariat itself. Does it change anything? Maybe they just want to seal it up. Thanking the president for intervening. And that, look, he's a very disruptive one, blah, blah, blah. So my mind tells me that, look, if we're going to be talking
visage, anything at all. Okay, what about find his foot really strong on
the coalition is a different conversation. That's why I say for me, I will just leave the PDP aside. If I wake up tomorrow and I hear that the money is their secretariat, I won't be surprised. And if they said that it was Wike that led bulldozers there to demolish it, because now things that too, that place should have been a land history book. People like Wike probably are not good students of history. There are some of the very, very writers, I will not say what are that. So maybe too would one day for us. And then for the coalition, there's been a lot of conversation about the coalition. We've done a lot of permutations. If you're following all our different political programs, from modality of the so-called coalition as we have it now. Whatever happens with the coalition, I'm sure we'll bring it to the table and have a proper discussion when the time comes. But for now, we just have to keep our feet.
On the ground rent, Tinubu saves PDP and FIRs also was affected, and others giving defaulters 14 days to pay back.
With all the money available to the Federal Revenue Service,
I saw the meeting, they had yesterday, the FIRs to the FCTA, which they, according to them, the FCTA decided not to acknowledge, and several letters sent, and that the FIRs. They should
go and pay, and should go and sort themselves out. Even the PDP, it's obvious they actually owe it. But I think that Wike should have just paid for them.
That was what Bode just said yesterday. He said that his youth of payment, I actually saved our father's house. You can't be you claim you are in the same PDP, and then you are even in charge of what is happening in the states.
You just pay for them and show them the receipt that the PDP is owing it. Well, so when they are ready, they should pay in. He has enough on it. I'm sure he has enough.
We did in the Guardian captures that, and also the Punch newspaper captures that for this beautiful morning. I think from that, still with the Punch newspaper, we have the Guardian newspaper. Pardon me, has withdrawn the controversial bill seeking to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to Speaker of the House, Abbas Tajudeen and Daniel Adama Ago, and it scaled second reading actually. And according to you, Fouad, he said it might not pass that boundary. Do you see this as just yes?
I'm surprised that I never got that part of the news that this bill was co-sponsored by drawing the bill because of the backlash. There was a lot of backlash. We also discussed that it was just a complete waste of time, just compulsory, and if they don't, they either go to jail or 200,000 naira fine. So again, in trying to make our electoral system better, we thought that's what in our electoral system. So he decided to withdraw it because of the backlash. And he said that, look, we didn't mean any harm when we were coming up with this bill. It was done out of good intention. So advocate for the complete implementation of the recommendations of the Justice Mᴏᴜ 2009 Electoral Reforms Committee report, which was to encourage more Nigerians to vote. I can tell the speaker for free that, look, if we reform the electoral process by implementing to force anybody to vote, the reason why a lot of Nigerians stay out of the electoral process is that they don't even trust the process. And instead of them from voting, the 괏ᴜᴜ will end. Voter apathy, people will come out and vote. All these 괏ᴜᴜ, all these Tဃᴇ, subversion, suppression, that cause that, look, there's a document by eminent, well-meaning Nigerians that have put together all of us to support it, or something always comes to my mind. Which election, do all the permutations in the world, APC will be free, fair, and credible. And we safely say that, yes, that can happen.
For what? Just the way electoral reform. They talk the
chairman and it's official.
In terms of its composition, while it's funding council rather NJC, while its funding was to be a first line charge on the consolidated police on the election duty stated in the PSC guidelines on code of conduct for officers should be incorporated into the Police Act. And also special
what they are supposed to do on election
commission was to be set up to try electoral offenders, that no elected person should assume office until the case against him or her in the tribunal or court is disposed of. And then the amendments of the constitution for the appointment of the offices, and also an amendment of the constitution to appoint a single date for the national and the state assembly elections, and also the numbers can be also established per state. I think amongst others that those are part of the recommendations by. So it's a document I encourage Nigerians to pick up and read and see what. Well, you know the story of that committee, right? Right.
Lɪਧᴇ, because again, God bless the soul of the late Yar'Adua for being declared the winner of an election. Acknowledge the fact that the process that brought him in was flawed with a lot of issues. This kind of election again in our life as a people. And he decided to set up, but the committee sat for 1 year. They will carry the recommendation.
You don't see any commitment at all.
No, I don't know. Well, anything can happen, but for me, I have not seen a commitment to show. I could be proven. I could be wrong eventually. My mind tells me that commitment we will not get this time.
Well,
the way we did not get it in Jonathan's time.
The dropping of the compulsory voting bill over public ID. Tinubu and Zulum in talks over foreign guards deployment. In case you're wondering, and we are going through several reports we have this morning. On insurgency, Tinubu and Zulum in discuss new strategies to curb the advance of jihadists, the rapid deployment of forest guards, and the expedited delivery of arms and equipment to know that he briefed the president on the happenings in the state. And this came after a week of complaints from the governor over its ESOP's deadly attacks on villages, and enabled more sophisticated tactics, nighttime raids. Roads could again even fall to insurgent control forward. How do we tackle that?
Zulum of Borno State, which the fact is of, if you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
And so I like the fact that the president decided to lead these Boko Haram elements who are said to be linked to ISWAP and some of these foreign terrorists. If you understand, because if it's about forest guard, more sophisticated weapons than our soldiers. So if soldiers don't feel do up, say na forest guard go do up. I don't know. This is the time for us dealing with the effect as we speak. So I would get more proactive, get more committed, and again, Governor Zulum thinks that ensure that no square, no inch of our land is available to them to operate on, and the fight has to be consistent. Again, in the issue of intelligence gathering, I think there's a lot that we should never be ahead of our intelligence community. The NIA, the office of the NSA, the TSA. So, and this is the way it should be. You see, you know that before now, there are all these, some of them, we already seen their posts and some of the things they were saying. That, they are just trying to paint the president black as if he's not doing anything. Why are they? To them, every troublemakers out of our country.
And we hope that's happened. $750 million loan. World Bank pressures Nigeria for fresh tax hike. That's on page.
You say World Bank that will take out of existence if possible. They know what they are doing. It's unfortunate that our leaders.
So your pays Oshun 5 billion naira in Lautech ownership deal. Page 28 as that story. Tinubu to inaugurate Lagos Calabar Highway section. The
president is in Lagos. My mind tells me it's going to be complete lockdown. So I think the advice I can give to anybody who has nothing serious to do on the island at this time is to stay away from going to that place. We need to make a call, send a dispatch rider, alternatives really, because the president also caused a lot of traffic disruptions, and it's better way to stay away from the island if you don't have any real reason to be on the island.
Thank you, Fouad, for that. Away from that, federal government from the Punch as well. Federal Kaduna-based Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi from performing the 2025 Hajj exercise and in a post presence in the Holy Land, despite having issued him a visa and in front of other pilgrims and the peace and prosperity of Nigeria. Do you think so?
Well, but again, with visas, when it comes to things like people at the border post, I can tell you to go back. The things the Saudi authorities are not comfortable with his world views on it, on a number of times on our radio station. So I will try and make a contact with him if he's going to be open to having a conversation about this. What could have led to this? What does he think is the reason why the Saudi authorities have to? I don't want to preempt anything here.
Right. Probably there's an information they are working with that.
He may know. If he knows, if he's willing to tell us, we'll work with that. But again, the Saudi authorities are not giving details of why they turned it back. So, and I don't want to be speculative on something like this. So, we'll see whether we're able to reach a Gumi. He's going to give us further.
It's controversial.
He's who he is now. We all know him now. He thinks rather that we should look at some form of amnesty program for them to integrate them into the society. It's a wrong thing to do. You can't be encouraging people to go to society. But that's always been the position, the consistent position of Sheikh Gumi. You understand what I mean? I'm not comfortable having him around.
Jigawa task pilgrims on upgrade market. Page 7 captures that. Speaking about buildings under Lagos Bridge, through the Ministry of Works, the demolished concerns and the officials of Julius Berger.
I was hoping that at some point, making about 32 million naira every year, like a complete flat.
Has questionable, structure.
No, what I'm even saying is that you have these apartments under the bridge.
Even the ones that are not living under the bridge, you are just living close to the road. You know how you feel. Let alone living.
So when you now live under the bridge,
collapsed CBEX. Also, just quickly before we say. We'll take a break. Nwoye laments closure and extortion of Abuja. That also happened. Page 3 captures that. We'll come back for Mail and Focus. Really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much. Still
on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Good morning.
Hey, kids, get ready for a day filled with fun and excitement. On 31st of May 2025 at the Mainland 98.3 FM Children's Day Party. This is a call to all children with the beauty and uniqueness of each child. Mother of the Day, the Fig, who will be gracing us with a present. Get your tickets for Jᴏɪᴜ, Bouncing Castle, and much more. This is the perfect chance for your little one to have a fantastic day filled with laughter, joy, and wonderful memories. For inquiries and ticket purchase, call Amida at 0812-520-9759 or for Lashade at Zero Nigeria Limited, Bobo Foods and Beverages, Blythe and Junot Nigeria Limited, and many more. Don't miss out on the most exciting Mainland 98.3 FM Kiddies Party. It's all about putting smile on your faces. See you there.
Ẹni máa bímọ, dandan ni, dandan kó yọ fọlọ́mọ, ìjọ ọlọ́mọ, àtàtà, bàmbọ̀tòrìbọ̀tò, ọlọ́mọ lórí.
Hello children, this is Joseph. This is me wishing you a happy Children's Day. Have fun, enjoy yourselves.
Happy Children's Day to the most amazing kids.
Hi my babies, it's your big auntie here, BB. Here's me wishing you a beautiful children.
And I want to wish you a very special Children's Day celebration. I wish you the very best of everything you wish yourself. Be great, be amazing, and be ready to take over the world. Keep winning, kids.
Hello beautiful children, my name is Rina and I'm wishing you a happy Children's Day today. Be good and be obedient to your parents and remember to be the best in the world.
Hi sweetheart, hi. My name is Sage Babalola and Auntie Moji has told me so much about you. I listen to you too and I see how smart you are. Well, it's Children's Day and it's a perfect opportunity to tell you how much we love and support you. Have a great day today. Make sure mommy and daddy buys you something nice, but if they don't, we have something planned for you. But happy Children's Day, darling. I love you.